Hi guys, welcome to Gadget First. Today we've got the unboxing of Apple's new iPhone 5. It's been out a couple months now. I would have liked to get a review out slightly sooner, but it's all good. Better late than never. And I'd like to thank Vodafone for getting this out to us. So let's get the full unboxing done now. Right, here we go then. Apple's packaging is always amazing. You just feel the quality when you open it. Everything is designed so perfectly. And on the front, at the top of the packaging, we have the iPhone itself, which we'll take a closer look at in just a second. But let's take a look at what you get in the box first. So this is the manual, and we also have the SIM removal tool here, which is basically, for what it says, removing the SIM, as the SIM on the iPhone requires you to just punch that in there, and then the micro or nano SIM comes out. We've got the new USB cable with a Thunderbolt, Lightning adapter on here, rather than the 30-pin connector we've seen, which may be a little bit of an annoyance for some people if you have iPhone or iPod docks chargers. They're probably not going to be compatible without a pricey adapter, but I'm pretty sure if you're new to Apple, you're not going to have all that stuff, so that's going to be absolutely fine. So we have the wall charger here, which the USB cable just plugs into right here, so that's all good. And I think that's it in the box. Yep, that's it in the box. Not much else. It's the 32GB edition. So that's all that you get in the box. Let's take a look at the phone. Now, first thing that I notice is that it's a lot lighter and thinner than the old iPhone. Well, it's not old, it's only like a year old now, but definitely a lot lighter and thinner. They say this is the lightest phone in the world as well, so definitely looks quite thin. I wouldn't say it's the thinnest phone in the world. The Hawaii that I did a review on just recently is actually thinner, so I don't know why Apple is calling it the thinnest phone in the world, because it's not. But it's definitely thin and feels really comfortable to hold in the hand. Design definitely looks good. They've got rid of the glass back. You've now got this aluminium back, and you still have a little bit of actually I think that's plastic. Yeah, that's plastic there, not glass, but it gives a glass effect, and so that means you're not going to crack your phone as soon as you place it down on your table with a little bit of force. So that's good of Apple to get rid of the glass back. I mean, it looked beautiful, but it did break easily. But there has been some complaints with the iPhone 5s. The rim around here is very easily damaged, and this is a used phone that Vodafone sent to me. It's not brand new, but you can still see it. It probably hasn't been used that much, but it's definitely looks quite easy to damage the side here. Everything else looks fine, but there's quite a bit of damage on it, which I don't think is the reviewer's fault who've had it before. I think it is just, it might be a little bit weaker than usual. And there was, most people I know with iPhones, the black and the white versions, this kind of paint here just chips off really quickly after getting it. But on the whole, it does look like a really premium device and feels like it too. So the camera on the front, instead of being on the right hand side, it is now above, so it's a bit more centered. It doesn't really change the look of the phone too much. And the big change that Apple is touting at the moment is the new 4-inch screen rather than the old 3.5-inch screen, which really was tiny in comparison to most Android phones nowadays. The 4-inch screen still isn't one of the biggest, but it has the Retina display and will certainly look as good, if not slightly better, than the iPhone 4S. So I won't pass judgment on that just yet, but it should do. And what they've done is, rather than making it 4 inches and having it wider, they've just kept the width the same and made it slightly taller. So it's 0.5 of an inch taller diagonally, which doesn't look too much bigger, but you can definitely notice it. And in the software, you get an extra row of apps at the bottom, so it boots up fairly quickly. and we'll just unlock and go through the initial setup. Come on. I'm not in Taiwan. Oh, I'll do that later. You don't let me do this. Whatever, I'll just connect. I'll just connect on my Wi-Fi. That keyboard is very nice. Very, very nice to type on. I mean, I haven't used anything Apple really in the past 2 years maybe. I did a review on the iPhone 4 quite a while back, about 2 years ago now. But I've been an Android person, to be fair. But it does seem quite nice at the moment. Just first impressions. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. Right then, so here's the... I'll just sit down, waving around everywhere. So here's the home screen. You can see there's an extra grid, an extra row of icons. And I have to say that screen is fantastic. It definitely looks like print. You can't tell there's pixels there at all. So it's just as good, despite having a larger screen. They've also bumped up the resolution, meaning you're not going to get a slightly worse pixel density. It definitely looks just as good. But yeah, I can't fault that. And it's also got in-cell touch, which basically means the bit that recognises on. Well, actually, I'll start with standard phones. On standard phones, you have the screen here, which actually produces the image, and then like a tiny bit above. Like here you have the touch digitizer, which actually recognises your touch, whereas with the iPhone and also on the Nexus 4 now, it's all built into one layer, so you get rid of that air gap in between, which means if you see here, there's no gap between the image and the touch sensitive bit, so that leads to a really nice crisp display. I have to note though, there is a little bit of lag that I can notice. It's not quite as smooth. I mean, it's very, very, very slight. It's really not anything you can notice without looking out for it. But it doesn't look as smooth as it was with, as the iPhone 4 was with iOS 4, which is a bit weird. I'll check if there's an update. Maybe there's an update which will sort it out. I need to connect my phone with iTunes before I can do that. But that's my only gripe with it at the moment. Let's check out Siri. I'll just ask it a simple question. How tall is Barack Obama? So the voice recognition is very good.
This might answer your question.
So you see, it hasn't given me an answer. It's given me an answer in text, but it hasn't told me the answer straight up, which is what Google Now does. So let's test something else. I'll ask it to remind me to do something. Remind me to feed the cats at 4 o'clock.
Here's your reminder for today at 4 p.m. Shall I create it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Okay, so that's pretty good. I have to say the speakers on this seem really deep and rich, so that's a really nice addition. The voice of Siri was a little bit robotic, but that's fine. The actual functionality is there. So yeah, first impressions of the iPhone 5 seem really, really good. The display is absolutely magnificent. If I go into the settings quickly and just see if the screen's on full brightness. So that's the screen at full brightness. It blows out the camera quite a bit. So yeah, really, really nice screen on this. Tiny bit of lag which I can notice. I don't know if you can. but definitely looking like the best iPhone out. So a good leap up from the iPhone 4S, and definitely a brilliant upgrade from the iPhone 4. I'll have a full review on this probably next week about just how good this is and how it stacks up to the likes of the best Android phones out there, being the Xperia T, the One X Plus, the Nexus 4. The Nexus 4 is probably the biggest competitor, the Galaxy S3 as well. So we'll be comparing them head to head, and so watch out for that. Cheers for watching.